With bar style workouts, one of the most important things is body positioning so that you get the most out of your exercises. Now, with a lot of the leg exercises, you'll find the positioning is very similar. It's just the turnout of the feet or the width of the legs that will change depending on what you're doing. So to start off with, the best way to start is in a parallel position, so your feet are firmly planted into the ground, and then just pull your navel to your spine. So really think about firming everything in, keeping everything in a straight line. If you imagine yourself leaning against the wall and how straight your whole body would be from your shoulders down to your ankles, that's how you should stay in all of your just upward, straightforward bar exercises. So the next thing to do is to see what your feet are doing. You will probably be up in a releve position at some stage, which means just to lift your heels off the ground. Now the important thing is to get right up on your tippy toes, because that is what's going to create the long lengthening effect of most of the bar exercises. Make sure you have this chair to hold on to. Keep in that parallel position, hip width apart, your feet hip width apart, and come up onto your toes. Right up onto your toes, as far as you can get up. Imagine you're wearing the highest stilettos that you can get. So from the side, you'll see that my feet are really high up, okay? So now keeping that same straight posture, still remembering to pull in your tummy, and you're actually tucking your hips just slightly forward, because most of us have an arch in our back, so we tend to stick out our butt a little bit, but bring it in and keep really nice and upright. Now, standing on your tippy toes, slide down as if you're sliding your back down that wall. Now you're keeping your legs slightly in front of your feet in this case. In most lunges and squats, the instructors will tell you not to allow your knees to go over your toes, but in this case it's actually okay because of the straight upright posture you're in. So make sure that you're still up on your tippy toes and you're just coming down to that point where you really start to feel your thighs engaging and you're still really upright. And that's usually where you'll start. From here, any exercise can happen. So it can just be a small pulse up and down, or you can be asked to go right down, to right a grand plie all the way down, little tucks, tucking your hips forward and back, tucking from side to side. There's any number of exercises that come from this point, but the important thing is that even after 20 reps, you're still checking your form. You're better off having great alignment rather than doing many reps of the exercise and not getting the best out of it. Okay, so from the side, same position, high up on your tippy toes, pull everything in and then coming down. You can see how straight my back is, and I'm just coming down to that point where I can feel my thighs. And from here, I can do little plies. I can do grand plies all the way down, as if my back is against the wall. Or I can do tucks, tucking my hips forward and back. So all of those same exercises come from that position. Now the other position, which is very common, is just the same thing but in a turnout, where your feet are as if it's got a slice of cake in between. Okay, not all the way turned out like in ballet, but it's probably at an L-shaped distance from each other, the perpendicular 90-degree distance from each other. Okay, so from this point, once again, most likely you'll be coming up onto your toes, so then you'll probably have to shift your heels back together so that they're touching. So making your heels touch in this position is very important because you're actually pressing in on your heels, which means you're engaging your inner thighs. So that will intensify the exercise a lot more. Once again, back straight as if you're against the wall, holding your tummies in, slightly tilting those hips forward so that your spine is actually in a neutral position. And from there, you're coming down to that point of control. Now you should never be resting a lot on that bar. You should actually be able to take your hands off even when you're in the bottom of the movement, just to check that you've just got a very light grip on that bar. And from this point, once again, you can do your pulses. You can go all the way down and up, or you can do your tucks. There's so many different exercises you can do from this position, but make sure that you're staying upright, you're holding your tummy in, your neck is relaxed, your shoulders are away from your ears, so that you're really getting the most of it. Now, the other position that you hear a lot is just a normal wide plie. So you'll be getting into a plie position, and this can be done either flat-footed or in releve. but a lot of the times you'll be doing a combination of both. So once again, sliding your back down that wall until you're coming down to whatever position you feel comfortable in. It depends on your hip flexors and how flexible you are as to how wide you can turn your legs out. Some people have really tight hip flexors and they find it difficult to turn their feet right out. So if they're pointing slightly more at a 45-degree angle, that's okay. As you get stronger, you can start to turn out more and more. So coming down as far as you can feel the tension in your glutes, in your quads, in your inner thighs. This engages everything. Again, checking. Is your tummy pulled in? Is my back flat? Am I in a neutral position with my spine? Is my neck long? And then keeping that as if you're up against that wall and pulsing, or doing grand plies all the way down, or eventually holding on and going up into releve. You might have to bring your feet in slightly for this, and doing exactly those exercises again on your toes. So there you have it. Those 3 positions you'll see very commonly in any bar class. So it's very good for you to really concentrate and get your form right. Practice in front of a mirror, really get it right, and you'll find that the results will follow and you'll get the most out of each exercise.